Google Analytics integration is at the core of our virtual tours and 360-degree panoramas. Here's a little demonstration. The screen is split into two. On the right-hand side, we have a Google Analytics real-time view page. And on the left, we have an art gallery, which is we've made into a virtual tour. Every scene in this virtual tour is called a zone, and these equate to a web page on a website in terms of content. That's how we, in our minds, we can think of this. If you think of every zone or every scene as a web page, then you can map that to your existing web page. Informatics. So currently on zone 1, Google Analytics in real time is showing we're on zone 1. If we go to zone 4, we've moved to zone 4 on the tour. In real time, with a slight delay, and it's nothing to do with us, it's Google itself's time lag. Here it's now switched to zone 4. Go to any other zone, go into zone 6. Slight delay there, we're now on zone 6. In addition to that, every highlightable item, every item that is clickable in the user journey, such as these pictures, will register as Google Analytic page events. And so take this one, for example. If I just close this so we don't have too many overlays, if I click on this 359 Colin Hamden White, Stephen as Dorian Gray, that's now appearing in Google Analytics as an active page. So that's like we've gone to a different page on your website. So this is a different piece of content that is being shown. If we close that and we click on something else, this is now 358 Red Steph. In any second now, that'll register on the real time. Here we are. So what's going on here is that we are showing the tooltip, the configured tooltip for the thing that's being clicked on as a component of the URL or the active page that's been displayed. This is so you can, without having to do any analysis or recalculation of how this path is worked out, it's hopefully completely intuitive. The scene you're in, which in this case is zone 6, / and then the thing you've clicked on, the name of the thing you've clicked on, which relates directly to what you're seeing on the screen. So it's a straight one-to-one simple mapping and really straightforward. 309 Mohair Ecstasy. Mohair being the artist. There's another layer of analysis that we provide, and that's, well, there's actually two components to it, and they're what we call hotspot UIDs and tags. Now, tags, possibly self-explanatory, they're where we can configure any of the items in your virtual tour or 360 panorama to have a hidden reporting tagging structure so that you can slice and dice your user journeys however you see fit, however is important to your organization or company. Unique IDs are similar, but they're designed to be unique to each and every item that you're interested in reporting on. And they could equate to something like a catalog number or barcode number or serial number or something of that nature. And to help illustrate that, let's click on this one here. This is an addition to what you would get for the normal reporting. This has got two hidden components, as we'll see in a second, come up here, given the little lag that Google gives you. You see we've got an MA345, and that's a unique ID that's been specified in this particular item on the virtual tour. Now, this is completely for purely illustrative purposes and is completely arbitrary, but that could be a catalog number or something that you want to uniquely report on, and it is gives you more useful information than just say the title of the work or something else of that nature. For example, you could have two titles of works or works from more than one artist that would conflict, that duplicate, and so that's fine. But if underneath that you had a unique ID for these individual items, then you have that level of granularity where you're getting down to unique things rather than things which are possibly being duplicated. So this unique ID feature is completely optional, as are the tags. Now we happen, for illustrative purposes, put the tag called tag-1 with this particular item in the virtual tour. If you wanted a whole string of tags for different cross-sectional analysis purposes, you could do that. So the general definition of how we work out what an active page is to combine all these components together in a hopefully useful and human readable manner. So we begin with the scene you're actually on, with whatever that name happens to be, and that's what the user would see. So you will be using the same terminology as your users and as is configured visually in your virtual tour, because we're on zone 5. So zone 5 is the lowest component of the path. Then is the title, the tooltip title, which is configurable for the item that the user is looking at, followed by an optional unique ID of the artifact that's being looked at, followed by any optional tags that have been specified and are not shown to the end user. So both the unique ID and the tag are not shown to the end user. They're configured and are used internally. If there were more than one tags, they would all be added at the end. But they are added, both the tags and the unique IDs are added in square brackets after the path, which has two components, which is the zone and optionally, if they've clicked on something, the name of the thing that they've clicked on, the tooltip that they've actually clicked on. So if we came out of this, we're just now in zone 5, but because let's go to this new zone, zone 4, then that's the lowest level that we can report on, because we haven't clicked on anything within that zone. So this active page will now just reduce to zone 4. But if we click on something, that will be appended, and if that happens to have unique IDs and or tags embedded in it, which are not viewable by the end user, then they would also be appended to the end of this active path. So the real time obviously accumulates up into the long-term, the non-real time reporting capabilities of Google Analytics. If we scroll down and look at the pages report, here we are with, if I go straight to the pages report, all the information that you see in real time is obviously accumulating the full path, including any tags. Let's go to the very last page, so page 17. So the things we've just been looking at will appear here. I think it's page 18. Morning ritual, rich Steph. I thought we were on page 37. Let's go 176. Back a page. Where are they? Go forward a page. Oh, I can't find all the tags, but all the tags, and I don't know if they've been accumulated yet. Don't know what the delay is. Oh, so if we look at, sorry, this is too much and taking too long. I won't bother. The key thing about our reporting is that you don't have to have Google Analytics yourself. If you do, all well and good, then you have two options. We can either use your existing Google Analytics UA number, and then if we did that, if we configured your virtual tour with your own Google Analytics number, then the user journeys and behavior of your virtual tour would just be incorporated into your existing Google Analytics framework. If you wanted to separate that out and have us to report on it separately and still give you access to that data, that's fine. We would set up a Google Analytics user ID for your virtual tour, and we can share that virtual tour analytics with you, and it's obviously private to you, completely secure and private to you. The other option is if you don't have any Google Analytics at all, then we can provide a Google Analytics account for you. It would be our Google Analytics account, but we would share it, and that account would be specifically for you and private to you. We would be able to see it as well, of course, and we like to be able to see it, our Google Analytics reporting, just to monitor it to make sure it's working. And obviously from a setting up point of view, we need to test that it's all working properly. But then we can then provide you a private shared account that gives you read-only access. Well, not necessarily read-only, reporting only access, no configuration, but you'd be able to configure new reports and such like for your own purposes. And for that, the benefit of that is you don't need to have Google Analytics account yourself, which not everybody does. So I think that's all we have to say about Google Analytics. It's just it's obviously giving you industry standard information about user journeys appearing on your virtual tour, which to all intents and purposes is like a web page or a web. Sorry, to all intents and purposes it's like a website with web pages on it. Each of the web pages being an individual scene in the tour. And of course, if you've only got a single 360-degree panorama, which is obviously appropriate for some people, then that's effectively a single page website. So we treat virtual tours as if they are individual websites, but we can, or something I didn't mention earlier, if you do have your own Google Analytics and you want to integrate the data from your virtual tour into your Google Analytics, then we can optionally add whatever path prefix you like to the beginning of the path. So whereas we were looking at things just beginning with /zone 6, zone 1 and so on, if your virtual tour is part of your website, then we can prepend to the beginning of that path anything you like that shows its relationship to the rest of your website. And it doesn't even have to show anything concrete that relates to your website. It can be anything you arbitrarily choose to want to prepend the zone names or the scene names, sorry, with your virtual tour. I hope that helps clarify what we can do with Google Analytics. And a key point I would like to make is that nothing is cast in stone. If there's any customizations you need, in addition to what we've shown you here, we can almost certainly accommodate that. Now, as I say, we are a very technical, highly developed organization, and we know that no one size fits all, and we're very happy to provide customizations that you may require over and above what we offer out of the box. We like to think that what we offer out of the box is fairly extensive, but we know, it's not going to be right for everybody. So it's quite flexible already in its framework, but we can make additional changes if required. Thanks very much.